The Essential Heart of a Leader. 12 Steps to Become the Leader that People Trust and Respect. Written by Anthony Munday. Narrated by F Mccoy. Chapter 1. Your first day as a leader defines you for the future. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. Steve Jobs. My first day as an acting police sergeant was Thursday, April 14th, 1988. It was a blue sky day. Why has this date remained ingrained in my memory? I was an experienced officer with 10 years' service at the time. In normal life, it would be fair to say that I was an outgoing, confident individual. That is a key word, individual. Whilst a team player, my focus was on myself and my performance rather than others. Life was about to change for me in ways I could never have imagined. I was due to start work at 1400 hours that day. Another person I considered as a friend, Frank Mason, was also scheduled to be on duty with that team at 1400 hours. Sadly, whilst walking his dog that morning, Frank intervened in an armed robbery and was murdered. In those days, news percolated rather than being instant. Cell phone usage was still in its infancy. Eventually that morning I became aware of the death of Frank. I remember having to use my landline to phone friends and family to confirm that I was alive. These conversations were awful and bizarre. At 1300 hours that day, the management team was briefed on what had happened. This included our inspector, me as the newest member, and the other sergeants. Our principal purpose was to transform many traumatized individuals back into a cohesive, high-performing team. The lesson of leadership that I learned that day was that it was essential for me to know those I had responsibility for as individual people, not just by function. I never forgot this vital lesson that was learned in such horrific circumstances. The second lesson learned that day was the critical importance of authenticity in leadership. I was not an automaton or a rank for my grieving colleagues. I was their fulcrum. We were all devastated by the senseless loss of a genuinely nice person. I could not pretend to be empathetic. This was no role play, but real life. I had to authentically connect with my colleagues to begin to establish their trust in me as a person who understood their pain and cared about the impact on them as people and professional police officers. They would know if I was faking it. This helped create the trust with those for whom I had responsibility and became the cement that bound the team together. In my view, these two lessons enable me to understand that leadership is about accountability and responsibility toward those you have responsibility for. Leadership is not self-centered. It is externally focused on creating an environment that energizes the team and develops people to their maximum extent. The lessons in leadership that I learned that day stood me in good stead for the next 24 years of my police career. At every occasion that I inherited responsibility for new teams or departments, my priority was to authentically connect with them as people before developing performance management and strategy. Before that day, I had believed that leadership was about being the shining star in every aspect of operational activity. In other words, I would have to pretend to be the best at every single aspect of policing, an impossibility as well as being far removed from reality. Marshall Goldsmith said, "What got you here won't get you there." Wise words indeed. Leadership was less about me than about us. I learned that leadership is a sacred privilege, not a rank or title.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?